Hello and welcome to an episode of the Farr Show where I'm Farr, and tonight we're talking about The Mandalorian. I know what you're thinking, Damien, you just talked about a Pedro Pascal show last week. Exactly, we're talking about another one. I finally was able to finish Mandalorian, so thought now's the best time to talk about it. Now that we have nothing coming out for a little bit. Right? Obviously there's Guardians, which came out this Friday that I'm filming this. And you know the drill. I always review them a week later, so we're going to get to Guardians, don't worry. So let's start talking about The Mandalorian, where I'd give this show an FAR for this season. I think this season was good, don't get me wrong, but I still think as a big diehard Star Wars fan, and I love The Mandalorian, I think that's Disney's best, or Disney Plus's best show other than maybe Loki or Hawkeye. Personal preference there, though. So I think this is a show that should have ended after season 2, though, and Grogu should have became a Jedi that was in training. But that's just me. So the show is created by Jon Favreau, produced by David Fillion. Neither directed an episode this season, which was really weird because they normally direct some. I assumed that they were too busy working on Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, though, so they didn't really do an episode this season. So I thought that was kind of weird. I had to point that out, personally. So we got to start talking about the cast, where you got Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin and Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan Kryze. So previously it was really just about the Mandalorian himself, that being Din Djarin and Grogu. Now they've added a third in here, which Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan Kryze is now like a main character of the show, which is fine by me. I kind of like the idea that they're a family in a way, she, him, and Grogu, though they didn't really set that up in any way. But that's personal preference. I like the idea that they are a family of some kind, so that's kind of cool to me. I think I'm disappointed, though, because there was a lot of good guest stars here and there that showed up that I didn't even know were guest stars, honestly, or know who they were. But I don't like the fact that Bill Burr didn't show up this season. I get that he didn't need to after the last season, but I would have loved to see him again. But that's just me. So let's start talking about the plot quickly here, which is, we're not going to go too much into it because, well, honestly, there isn't too much to go into. I do want to say, though, there is one throwaway episode about the Doctor from the first season. It sets up some things later on in the season, but you didn't really need it. You could have trimmed it down, so there's 8 episodes in this show, and they had a filler episode, is what I call it. Well, most of it was filler, which isn't good in a show that's only 8 episodes long, and they're varying from 30 minutes to an hour. Why waste our time like that? I don't get it, but that's just me. I get that they were setting her up for later, the character that, you know, screwed over the Doctor, spoiler, but come on. You didn't have to waste a whole episode on that. It felt like Book of Boba Fett, where they wasted a whole episode, 2 episodes on The Mandalorian, which in that case were the best episodes of that show. Unlike this, where it was like, this is the worst episode of the season by far. So personally, cut that out. I look at the best example of a show doing it really well, Andor. 12 episodes, I think it was, if I remember correctly. 12 episodes. There didn't feel like there was any filler. Each episode had a point to help the plot. So, that's just me. This season really is just about Din Djarin trying to be a father to Grogu because he becomes his adoptive father at the end of the season. I still think Bo-Katan Kryze should have been the adoptive mother, personally, but that's just me. I think that would have been a cool idea. They don't have to be lovers or anything, but you know what I mean? Just the idea that, hey, this is our son. You know what I mean? Like co-parenting in a way. So, what did you think of Mandalorian Season 3? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.